Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, March 31st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Before I get to the watch list real quick, I want to first personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here very soon. So if you're liking what you see and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, and just why it's so powerful in building consistency, then certainly get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click on. So definitely get signed up for the free class if you're liking what you see. A couple of quick clarification points. First off, this number over here will still be moving along with the candlesticks here because, yes, I'm doing this video when the market's still open for a brief amount of time. I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price action. And then also, I will be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning if you're a beginner, each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, MULN, and what a monster move here. Again, each one represents 30 minutes. So check out this 30-minute period. I mean, price was down here and just exploded upwards and then has overall maintained itself, which brings about the first key update. And this is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And for those of you that have watched past videos, hopefully remember me talking about 280 as a resistance area. But I mean, a classic example of charts right here. Price broke above it, and at that point, like I said, you'd want to see it act as support. But check out that pullback right there. Came down to that area before bouncing back upwards. So moving forward, 280 is going to be that key near-term area of support. As far as next potential battlegrounds and areas of resistance, squeeze down the chart here a little bit. What I'm curious about is how does the price behave if it can get up here around this area right there at $3.30. So in my mind, 330, public enemy number one here moving forward. But all in all, any way you look at it, monster afternoon, great volume. Not just a question of can this momentum carry into Thursday. Let's see what happens. Next one, ticker symbol AMC. And overall, the chart's perfectly fine. However, in the near term, yeah, depending on where you bought, you're starting to feel some pain. Namely, if you're some sort of day trader that bought right there, or maybe you bought right there. Even if you bought this morning right there, again, being a day trader, thinking, hey, I want to buy and sell within 10 minutes. Well, yeah, from that angle, things are certainly looking rough. Now, from the overarching standpoint, let me do this. Yeah, I get it. The past couple of days, the price has pulled back here. Today, the price has pulled back even more. But again, assuming you care about the grand scheme of things and you look at where these lows have been, then overall, and especially if you even want to envision those as stair steps, then big picture, the stair steps are very clearly still progressing in the upwards direction. So big picture wise, assuming that's what you care about, there's nothing wrong at all. Again, I understand that can sound crazy if you're a day trader that bought right there. But again, I'm not making that comment from the day trading angle. I'm talking about it more so from just an overall standpoint. And what I am going to do is actually just get rid of this line here, because really the main dynamic here that a lot of people are going to be watching is all about the purple line right there, which on my chart denotes the very well-known, the very famous 50 period moving average. You can see the price is hovering right around that area. So a very valid question moving forward is going to be, okay, what exactly is going to happen? Are the bulls going to show up and get a bounce off of it? Or are the bears going to show up some more and, press to the downside? So, tomorrow on Thursday will be very revealing because, not that if the price drops below it some more, does that mean that the entire chart's destroyed? But it is going to be a signal that, okay, it's looking like the bears are gaining a bit more strength here. But as of right now, like I said, I think a lot of people, and rightfully so, will be watching that 50 period moving average and seeing how the price behaves. Next one, SNDL, and I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment. Yes, this level up here is still relevant from a resistance standpoint, but it's not completely the most relevant thing. So what I'm going to do is actually just angle it down now, because after today we have ourselves a pretty blatant trend line right in place here. And I say blatant because a lot of people will be watching that trend line, and when a lot of people are watching the same levels, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can definitely produce some very dynamic movements. So while nothing is guaranteed, my point here is that it's more than valid and plausible to think that if the price were to go up to that trend line and then get the break up through it, that break in and of itself could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on that. As far as, important levels of support are concerned headed into Thursday, definitely a very important level down there at that 70-cent mark. Again, if 70 cents is broken, does that mean the chart's destroyed? No, but it does mean that all of a sudden the price has fallen outside of this previous little consolidation range right here, which again, you can't argue would be a bullish thing. Again, that doesn't mean that the chart is completely destroyed, but it's certainly not making the chart look any better. So 70 cents key level of support, that trend line right up there around the 78-cent mark, key level of resistance. Next one, NIO, very bizarre looking, Opening 30 minutes, absolutely fantastic. Next 30 minutes, solid. And then slowly went up. And then quite literally, I mean, no green candles at all. The entire late morning and entire afternoon. You know, sometimes you can kind of be exaggerating. Oh, geez, not a single green candle. In this situation, no, quite literally, not a single green candle. So again, is this a bad or good looking chart? It all depends on your perspective. If you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, then the chart for you looks absolutely terrible. But if you care about the big picture of things, as kind of rough as that looks, as we did with AMC and taking a step back, you can see that the overall trend as far as, whoops, let me get this from, there we go. You still have, lows right there, and I'm doing this very generally speaking there and there. You envision these as stair steps, and overall, the stair steps are still trending in the upwards direction. So it's not like one afternoon has, can completely destroy a chart, but it does, I'm sure, feel a little bit shaky. So just to really reiterate, if you're a day trader, then yes, I realize I can sound crazy to call this chart overall bullish, if you were buying right around there, but I'm making that comment under the assumption that you care about more so the broad scope of things. But yeah, crazy movement today, but overall the trend is still overall making progress in the upwards direction. Next one, HYMC, been tracking this one quite a bit. And overall, not a whole lot of changes other than the fact that it's really respecting this pattern to an extent. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this level down now that we have more data. It seems as though the more accurate area right down there around $2.30. But overall, the pattern is still completely in play. So we have our resistance there that I talked about. That was terrible. Let's try that again. There we go. We have our resistance there. We have our support there. We have the big momentum move right there. So bull flag, bull pattern, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, getting stuck on names of patterns is besides the point. The point is that as of now, just a day of consolidation. Volume was low, but as any volume analysis will tell you, during days of consolidation, you just want to see good, low volume, and that's exactly what happened here. And it's not like the chart did anything wrong. It's not like it blasted down through that 50-period moving average or anything like that. So yes, I guess the only thing that it did wrong today was not explode upwards, but newsflash, stocks can't explode upwards every single day. Sometimes things need to consolidate, and as long as they consolidate up above key levels, which this one did, then overall, it's still just a wait and see, and that's the whole idea of a watch list, right? Find patterns, find unique situations, and then watch them. So if you like to play this price range, then I'd definitely say get it on the watch list so, well, you can watch it. Next one, ADGI, and this one's looking pretty ugly right now to think that at one point the price got all the way up here and now it's pulled all the way back here. But I know some of you know what I'm going to say next, and you're going to say yes, but there can be opportunity in the ugly, and that absolutely is the case here. So while nothing is guaranteed, as I've said, is it valid, is it rational to think that if the price were to pull back some more, get a bit more ugly down to this 465 area, that could present some sort of bounce? Absolutely, because that is not only a previous breakout point, it's this 200-period moving average, which again doesn't guarantee that the price will bounce, but nobody could accuse you of saying that that's some sort of random area on the chart. So there would be a plausible thought process that goes with it. But yeah, again, the chart is going to need to get a bit more ugly, come down to that area, and these whole trade-up setups, they work under the assumption that you can actually be disciplined, that you can actually honor losses. Where if your plan is just, I'm going to buy more, and then hold and hope, that's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to people that actually have structured trade plans and can follow those structured trade plans. So if you would put yourself in that camp, then yeah, that 465 area, very, very interesting. As yes, right now it's looking ugly, but let's see if it can get even a little bit more uglier. Next one here, TLRY, and just to kind of map out what seemingly has been going on here. We've had this trend line right there that's presented a few problems, and then you have this lower trend line right here, and you can see that the price is now starting to break through the bottom of it. But like AMC, and actually let me change that to green because that's technically an area of support. But what makes this extra interesting is not only do you have that trend line, but you also have the purple line there, the 50-period moving average. And like AMC, it's a big question of, okay, what's actually going to happen here? Because it's more than plausible to think, hey, this thing could bounce right off that support. Yeah, that's plausible, very plausible. But it's also plausible to say, okay, but are the bears starting to show up and now going to push to the downside? Also very plausible. And once again, that's the whole idea of a watch list. Find very interesting situations and then watch them. And then based on what you're seeing, then you can develop trade plans with that. So there's no doubt about it that this is at a very interesting location for all the reasons we just talked about. And it's just a question of shorts are going to be very interested to potentially make money if this thing separates to the downside. And rightfully so, that makes sense. But also longs would make sense to think, I think this thing might get ready to bounce. So if you like to play, like I said, stocks down below $10, you find these sorts of situations very interesting yourself, then yeah, get it on the watch list so you can watch it. Next one here, MU. Believe they had earnings. I guess I don't know that for sure, but something happened today. My guess would be it was earnings. If it wasn't, then there was some sort of news release. But definitely going back to the whole opportunity in ugly. So I should have put this one at a different spot. But I just talked about it a few minutes ago. So as far as, the ugliness, hopefully I state the obvious in that. I mean, gapped up, price came all up here. I think about it. Some poor souls bought up there. They're not having a good day. But from there, the price has just been dropping and dropping and dropping. So as far as, okay, where, could the ugly finally end and maybe get some sort of bounce? Once more, right there at that 200 period moving average, currently valid. Let's just call it the $77 mark. So I'm not going to repeat myself, but again, this all operates under the assumption that you can be disciplined as a trader. But if you do like to play these pullbacks, especially in a higher price, I don't know, maybe you like to play options. So maybe you're thinking about some potential calls down around there. But like I said, the chart is no doubt looking ugly, but if it can get a bit more ugly, then there could be a very nice risk versus reward type setup. Next one here, GameStop GME, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this line here as it served its purpose for now. But the big dynamic, like AMC, is price has now broken down below that area and is actually, as we watch this final 30 minutes play out here, is separating further to the downside. So that brings about the more than logical, and I would argue the wise question to be asking, to be wondering is, okay, is this some sort of leading indicator of more bearishness to come? It might not be, but again, something that certainly needs to be asked and monitored. And the next key level of support that I'm very interested about here moving into Thursday right there at 163. And then if 163 can't quite hold up, next key level after that would be down there right around the 155 mark. So as far as supports are concerned, 163 and 155 in terms of areas of resistance. Main dynamic to watch now in the near term, in my mind, at least right up there around the 180 mark. But the most interesting dynamic here is, okay, that 50 period has pretty clearly been broken. The last 30 minutes not looking so good. So is this momentum going to carry into Thursday? Let's see. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And for those of you that watched yesterday's video, there were definitely some solid opportunities, mainly the breakout area right there where the price broke out. Now, if you're looking for some sort of bigger move, didn't get that as the price came back down. But for a day trader like myself, there's some profitable opportunities in this one. I actually traded Tesla 4 times today, 2 winners, 2 losers. Still came out ahead, so 50% win rate, but still made money on the day, which is always good. But let's map out some of the new levels. And I say all that because for those of you that are new to these videos, I trade Tesla, or at least I try to trade it every day. I'm always watching it. So, these videos are more so me just kind of talking out loud about the levels that really stand out to me. And definitely now the new level, and we'll bring up, the whole self-fulfilling prophecy angle of things. But right there, I assure you people around the world have noticed that and then drawn that trend line. But to reiterate, that guarantees nothing, but it does certainly make it plausible to think that if the price can get up to that area and then get the break up through it, that could very well create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So keep an eye on that trend line right there from the resistance side of things. As far as supports, 2 main levels here, nothing really new, the 1070 mark. But now what makes it a little bit more interesting is because this 50 period moving average has moved up above that support, that would now be, more of an interesting level, which currently valued right around 1075. So as far as supports are concerned, 1075 and 1070 have my eye. But overall, yeah, pretty big rejection off that trend line, but it is Tesla. So if it can recover back up to that area and then break up through it, who knows? Maybe that's the next round of fireworks. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you haven't signed up yet, then definitely get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, March 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely get signed up for that live class. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to put in the time and effort to scan, to analyze these charts, then please let me know with some basic feedback. Hit the like button, leave us a comment, say hi, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those 2 things, hitting the like button, leaving a simple comment, really do go a long way in communicating to me that I'm not wasting my time doing these videos. And as long as I know I'm not wasting my time, then I have no problem at all continuing to put in the effort to get them put together for you. So again, get signed up for the free class, hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. Everybody take care. Have a good one.